Federico loses the tip as it's gained by the Missouri Tigers in their black uniforms. And at the point, Sean East wearing number 55. When was the last time you saw a point guard wearing 55?
It's been a while.
I like it. Noah Carter is the other captain on this Missouri team, number 35 in the starting lineup. There goes Honor, swinging the ball around. 7 to shoot. Carter puts it up. Nice job defensively by Pittsburgh, and here comes Ishmael Leggett, the transfer from Rhode Island. Blake Hinson picks up the dribble, brings it back out. We could have also highlighted Blake Hinson as well, coming off a marvelous all-conference year. He is now the third leading scorer this year in the ACC at over 19 points per game.
I think he's going to have a heck of a year and be an ACC Player of the Year candidate. And Pitt's going to need him to play that level if they want to get to postseason play.
And I even thought last year with Demarius Burton, he and Blake Hinson kind of canceled each other out in that ACC Player of the Year vote. They both played so well helping this Pittsburgh team get to the big dance for the first time in years.
And you wonder that, and even with Miami and finally getting 2 players, I thought they had 2 players that was fighting for it. And that happens at times. You get 2 great players, they take votes from one another. As you look at Jeff Capler there, he doesn't mind having that problem at all.
No, it's a good problem to have after 4 tough years trying to rebuild this Pittsburgh program into what it was in its heyday in the Big East years with Ben Howland and Jamie Dixon, and they certainly seem to have the building blocks in place now.
Well, he's responded. It takes some time when you're building it your way, and you've rewarded everyone with a Coach of the Year.
Noah Carter, the grad student from Dubuque, Iowa, banks one in.
Good job posting up there. Missouri's really streaky from behind the arc, so getting the ball inside and getting the early post up is not a bad idea at all.
Yeah, streakiness is kind of the name of the game for this Missouri team so far this season. Blake Hinson, he's a wide body, 6'8", 230. He can knock down shots, and he can do that.
Well, he's not known for putting it on the floor, getting to the rim, but the way he shoots it, you got to close out hard. You got to go for that shot fake, and does a great job there getting to the rim.
There you see 17 points. Last time out in a rout of Oregon State. That was at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, the second game of their NIT season tip-off. Nice bounce back from their loss to Florida. That was Sean East the second, misfiring. Here's Carlton Carrington, again, a freshman out of St. Francis Academy in Baltimore, who has NBA scouts coming to Pittsburgh now in big numbers.
Well, half the league is here, I think. I think the last number I heard was 14 or 15 teams here tonight. All here to see this young man.
Good fake by Leggett. Shot's a little long, tracked down by Sean East. There goes Honor, spins into the lane, picks up the dribble. Aiden Shaw with his first 2 points. Tigers off to a 2 out of 4 start from the floor. They take a 1-point lead.
Coach C.Y. Young for Missouri was just raving about Shaw, saying how much potential he is. Thinks he's a little raw, but his skill level is increasing.
Clean look. Off the mark. Federico thought better of going over the back of Noah Carter.
I think one of the bigger adjustments you see from both teams early is Missouri goes to their bench. They'll play their entire roster. They'll play 13 guys. We'll see how many guys Pitt plays tonight if they try to match that.
Carter gets double teamed. Federico came over and is going to be called for the blocking foul.
I just didn't think he saw him coming there and tried to spin baseline and ran into Federico, came over, put his chest on him.
Well, the ascension of Noah Carter started the end of last year with Mizzou, his first after transferring from Northern Iowa. He really, according to his coach, was the best player on this team the last 6 games last year, and he has just built on that through the first 7+ games of this season. Nick Honor, no.
It's a war under the glass tonight. Who wins the battle on the glass?
Well, Pittsburgh's been winning them virtually every night so far this year. DeMar Bates denied. Zach Austin with the rejection.
We talked about it. 2 of the top 10, 2 teams in the country at shot blocking, so I expect many more tonight.
Boy, this feels like an old school rock fight. My goodness. And here is Ish Leggett, a 6'3" junior from Prince George's County, Maryland. That's just outside of Washington, D.C. He spent 3 years at the University of Rhode Island. Last year scored over 16 points, about 5 rebounds a game. And he's part of the story of Pittsburgh trying to build this year. He's come in and, again, he's only 6'3", but he averages 8 rebounds a game. Part of setting that new tone this year for Coach Capel's team.
I recruited him in high school, just loved him. He's a winner out of St. John High School in D.C. and he's just been a winner. One of those guys, high major schools weren't on him early, but everyone loves him now, and Capel raves about him because he always takes the defensive assignment. He prides himself on the defensive end of the floor.
Here's Nick Honor. Trying to work on the freshman, bring it back out. Tamar Bates. And the former Indiana Hoosier has 3.
Off to a hot start behind the arc right now. The team overall is struggling, but Tamar Bates isn't shooting 46% from the 3, and right now that percentage is looking to go up.
Yeah, I can do the math. He's now 50% because he's 7 for 14. The numbers aren't so big yet that I can't figure that out.
We're running out of time. We got a couple more days before that happens.
Terrific ball fake by Austin. Off the back iron, 1 and done for Pitt.
One thing that's happening right now is Missouri doing a better job of attacking the paint. They put more pressure on the rim, and it's opening up the perimeter.
There's East. Carrington quickly up ahead, trying to find Federico, and for some reason missed him by a mile.
I don't think Federico knew anybody was behind him. Had he ran to the rim, he didn't see what his point guard saw. His point guard saw no one there and just tried to lead him and had a careless turnover there.
Here's Honor, who started his college career years ago at Fordham. Was a 15-point-per-game scorer in the Atlantic 10 Conference. Bates creates some space, puts up an air ball. Leggett. Tell you what, the foul is called against Noah Carter, and he's still trying to plead his case. I've been impressed by his physicality in the first 5 minutes here.
He came out super aggressive on both ends of the floor as Ishmael Leggett here gets to the rim. I think Noah thought he absorbed the contact with his body, and probably trying to question now was that he came into me, ref.
Last year at Missouri, Carter averaged just a touch under 10 points per game. This year up to 13 a game. As Leggett made the front end. There's big number 35. Now don't get it twisted. He can go for a lot of points. At Valparaiso a couple of years ago, he went for 33. So he brings a lot to the table for Dennis Gates. Now he's going to come out of the game and be replaced by Aiden Shaw.
He's also leading this group in rebounding right now, which is key for this team because they're actually losing the rebound margin so far this year when they play, and that's something that Coach Gates he knows he needs to do a better job of. They want to win this game here at Pitt.
Carter sits down, that 6.4 rebound average. Now you see the numbers way down in the SEC in the early going. Missouri 5-2 on the year, Pittsburgh 5-1. Here's the cutter. Caleb Grill hangs in the air and banks it home off a nice feed from Sean East.
Great job of cutting there off the penetration. When you're struggling from the perimeter, you want to get yourself going with a layup like that. Grill shooting only 24% from behind the arc. So great job by him.
Carrington trying to initiate offense. Field goals have been tough to come by so far for Pittsburgh. They have been getting to the free throw line. That personal against Anthony Robinson the second.
Just great baseline drive there. Grill sees it, cuts. Takes the contact there. Great finish. Look at that. Just hangs in the air. He almost hangs in the air as long as you do when you jump.
Only if I'm jumping from the 4th story. Guillermo Diaz-Graham with a basketball. One of the twin brothers on this team who have become so much better now as sophomores coming off the bench. They continue to grow their games. Hinson for 3. That's his specialty.
You got to get out there to them. They're working on that penetrations, kicking out to the wings. There's no middle zone. There's no middle man defense for Missouri. Is vulnerable to corner threes.
Well, Missouri will go 10, 11, 12 deep most nights. They get a lot of scoring from a lot of guys so far. 4 different Tigers have scored in this one. East picks up his dribble. He's in trouble. He's still trying to work. And he almost got the friendly roll. Robinson cleans it up. Anthony Robinson, a freshman from Tallahassee, has had a really good start to his college career.
They're really high on him, and not just because he scores off the bench. He's got double-figure points the last couple of games. It's because he just gets after it on the defensive end.
After the flyby, Carrington, a little strong on that 3, gets his own miss. Little Bub again, showing off the mid-range.
I like the confidence. Missed the 3, doesn't flinch. Gets the offensive rebound, dribbles into a mid-range shot. He's so confident, as he should be when you're this talented.
Well, yeah, he's 3rd in the ACC in three-point accuracy. Better than 50% in the home game so far this year here inside the Pete. So one miss is not going to deter him. 8 minutes in. Now East will reset with 5 of the shot clock. Uses the screen, puts it up, and in. Nice looking stroke for the grad student from Louisville.
He is a career 31% three-point shooter. You will not know that by his start to this year. So much confidence. Coach has said he spent all summer working to improve that shot, and it's paying off here early.
He becomes the 6th different Tiger to score tonight. Guillermo Diaz, nice drive and finish. Takes the contact, and the 7-foot sophomore from the Canary Islands ties the score at 14 apiece.
Great start here, catches it, looks to reverse, fakes the handoff, goes, gets the and one. Got a tie game. Who would expect anything less than Peterson Event Center?
I have no idea.
I don't even try. If it wasn't for the numbers on the jersey, I would have no idea either.
And there is Jorge Diaz-Graham. By the way, Guillermo, who just made that free throw, is the older and taller twin, and in his words, the wiser twin.
Probably say the better looking as well.
Well, as we anticipated off the top, this is a competitive ball game. We've already had 10 lead changes in less than 9 minutes. Well, we can keep adding to that total as Caleb Grill drains the 3.
Great shot there, coming out, great kick, great find.
And he is a floor spacer. He's had a long road in college basketball at Iowa State, 1 year at UNLV. But he's only shooting 24% so far in the young season, but he certainly put that one up with confidence.
But he's streaking, and when he sees the first one go, you best believe he'll shoot the next one.
Well, I'll tell you what, Guillermo Diaz-Graham is every bit a 7-footer.
He's coming out strong here. He's pushing for more playing time, I'll tell you that.
Well, he put 23 points on Jacksonville earlier this month. That's a career high, saying to Coach Capel, put me in, I need more minutes.
He's taking that jump, which you want to see from one, early in your career to next, and that sophomore year jump when you get a full off season. Just more confident here. That's where that strength's helping him on the offensive glass. Doesn't have to jump very high when you're a 7-footer.
No. Well, he is just the 4th 7-footer in Pittsburgh program history. The most noteworthy so far, I say, is Steven Adams. First-round pick in 2013, 11-year NBA veteran, unfortunately out for the year with the Grizzlies. But both these Diaz-Graham twins have upside. Whether they get to the NBA or not, we'll find out. But they are good building blocks for Pittsburgh. Shot clock under 1, and so Honor just has to heave it up. Missed the iron, and it's a shot clock violation.
Just two tough defensive teams. You just not get to the rim easily against either one. Like we talked about in the opening, their identity is on that end of the floor.
Got to look there at Dennis Gates, the 43-year-old Chicago native who started at Whitney Young High School. Of course, the alma mater of our former First Lady, Michelle Obama.
If there's a concern you have for Pitt is this right here. Having enough handlers to handle the pressure from Missouri.
Robinson sets up Grill and misses. Honor goes to the corner for 3. And Nick Honor still scoreless here tonight.
Jalen Lowe's the freshman here. As he drives there, gets the foul, he's got to be the guy to handle this pressure, get the ball, get his team set in the offense, and giving up a lot of experience, but he's skilled enough to do so.
6th team foul against Missouri, and the first on Jordan Butler after just having come into the game. So this is Lowe, the freshman guard from Missouri City, Texas. ESPN 100 recruit last year. Tomorrow, it's 2 more featured matchups in the ACC SEC Challenge for men's college basketball. On ESPN, number 10, Tennessee, is in Chapel Hill to go against number 17, North Carolina. 7:15 Eastern Time, followed at 9:15 by Duke and Arkansas, the 7th-ranked Blue Devils, taking on the Razorbacks. Lowe makes the second. This is year number 1 of this new challenge between these 2 conferences. And while maybe it doesn't have the fire that we have seen over the years from some of the others, I have a sense that this is going to build, and these games will be important starting this year and starting tonight.
Well, they matter because come March, these are the teams that you're fighting against to get into the NCAA tournament. When you're Pitt and you're Missouri, you're going to be right there trying to get it at large bid.
Is it too early to talk bracketology?
Yeah, it's way too early. These guys have no idea. But that's a great thing about these early games is that they matter come March.
Well, Joe Lunardi sent us missives today saying both these teams are just on the outside of the bubble.
Yes.
In the 80s and 90s. But to your point, it is important. 3 months from now, we will be talking about this game if these 2 teams are on the bubble. East able to work around the defender, got it up on the rim, couple of attempts. Grill rips it away, and then a reach-in foul goes against Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh's not used to giving up offensive rebounds, but they hadn't played against many 7'5" guys there, so ball gets up in the glass, and Vanover's there tipping it back and forth to himself until Grill comes in and gets his hand on it and draws the foul.
Yeah, you can't miss number 75 in black. That 7'5" is for being 7 feet 5 inches tall. From Little Rock, Arkansas, playing his graduate years, COVID year, if you will, with the Tigers. Not his first go-round in the SEC, having played at Arkansas previously, whereas Mom played back in the day. Again, shot clock at 5. Here's Pierce off the bench. Way too strong. Ball on the floor. We've got another whistle. And a foul. This time it goes against the Tigers.
Got to expect that. That ball goes on the ground. Both of these teams are going to be diving all over it. Fouls are starting to mount up for Missouri here in the first half.
7th foul, and so they walk to the other end of the floor. And Pittsburgh will shoot a 1-and-1.
It's big to see here early. Pitt's already shot 9 free throws. Missouri's yet to attempt one. Pitt's in a bonus.
Dennis Gates just had a question for Clarence Armstrong, one of our 3 officials. Clarence went over to the scores table, not sure what they were clearing up. But now at the line is Leggett, on the year an 87% foul shooter. That's kind of a Childress stroke at the free throw line.
He's improved his shot from distance, and that's just an added bonus with this guy. I mean, he's just such a winner and a competitor on the defensive end, and everyone wants a guy that embraces defensive assignments, and expect him to follow either one of the backcourt mates, either East or Honor, when they're in the game.
Bates back in, Honor goes out. When you were recruiting Leggett, trying to get him to go to Wake Forest, from that point to now, how has he grown and evolved his game?
Well, I think his offensive identity at the end of the floor has improved. I mean, he's already up to 15 points, 16 points a game, I'd say. His rebound has increased. He's done all. He's come off the bench. He's led a team, even though they weren't great on the offensive end last year. So he's had so many different roles. So it's a great transition into a team like this, and he's able to help a guy like Bud grow because he has so much experience.
Yeah, and he's out of the WCAC. That's one of the best, if not the best.
The best. I think it's the best league in high school basketball.
School conferences. That's in Washington, D.C., along with the Matha, Gonzaga, PVI. Of course, he went to St. John's.
Now, I'm a little biased, I must say, because I'm a Washingtonian, so I had to throw that in there.
No, and I fully respect that. But I also understand there's going to be folks around the country saying, hey, wait a second. But he comes out of that, like you said, had a terrific run at Rhode Island, and he has a lot of experience he can share with his younger teammates, and that's part of the building process with Coach Capel, layering veterans with new blood coming out of high school. There's a deep three from Hinson. Federico tracks it down, able to save it back to Zach Austin. Shot clock reset to 20, and then a foul committed by Tamar Bates, some 40 feet from the basket. That'll take us to our next media timeout with the Panthers on top by 4 of the Tigers. And it was not, but he seems to have gotten over the hump now.
Well, you take over a job like this and you start to build it, and then COVID happens. And it was just really, really tough for him. And he was able to get a group of veteran guys in here last year to help him flip the program around. And now there's a standard here. Recruiting's going well, and I expect Jeff to continue to build this thing.
Well, his team now 12 of 13 from the line to take a 6-point lead. Another part of the Pittsburgh equation. Boy, it doesn't take much to dunk when you're 7'5". Connor Vanover got a beautiful feed from Carter and just laid it over the rim.
The funny thing is his leg comes over there. He's standing right there, but he just can't get up there. He can't do anything about it.
Not without a step ladder.
No, that's one of those ones on film. You just look at the coach and you're like, what do you want me to do? Missouri's in a 1-3-1 now. Trying to get back in the game. They were in a little bit of a scoring drought. They were 0 for 7 prior to that last field goal.
And is that defensive change in part because Vanover's on the floor, or is it just to change up the look?
I think combination of both.
Well, Pittsburgh handled it beautifully. The pass from Federico got a good look at the rim, just couldn't finish. At this end, you see the Tigers have missed 7 of their last 8. East created the separation and buried the mid-range shot.
That's it. He is a big-time mid-range shooter there. He just got to a spot at the elbow, shot his mid-range jump. He's shooting great from behind the arc, but he is really comfortable shooting his mid-range J's.
That man is hard to speed up with a basketball. He just waits for you to fly by, and Hinson says, okay, now I'll shoot.
He shoots it for such range and shoots it so well. When he shot fakes, you have to go for it.
Quick answer at the other end by the Tigers to draw back to within 3. 7 points for Sean East. Leg it into the corner. And it looks like he stepped out of bounds.
East is just playing with so much confidence right now. I mean, it's field goal percentage is indicative of your shot selection, and he just gets comfortable, gets to his spots there, and knock down that mid-range shot. And here continues to use the rim protection, so Blake Hinton can't block it, and he's playing really well right now early in the year.
Great defense by Leggett just to cut off Sean East from getting to that pass.
Big-time defender. I can't tell you enough. He just embraces that into the floor. Really disciplined in that, knows, didn't overextend there.
Just the 3rd turnover of the ball game for the Tigers. Good ball movement. Somebody's got to be open. Tell you what, if Pitt keeps getting shots that open, they're going to win. Zach Austin, no trouble burying that 3. Noah Carter able to bank it in over Federico.
Jeff Capel's really upset with his guys because they dominate the glass usually. They've given up a couple of offensive rebounds here, and they paid for it.
And with that timeout, we'll step away as well. Pitt's lead is 4. For 55, to honor the memory of his late mother, Cynthia Austin, who passed away in 2017 at the age of 55.
Being a Winston-Salem native as I am, I've had the privilege of watching that young man in high school, and I'm very impressed.
Under 5 minutes remaining here in the half. Federico says, you know what? I'm going to go right to the hole, but he missed it. Perhaps the 7'5" defender bothered him.
Vanover's blocking. He's blocking lights when he stands up, so you can believe it.
That pass goes untouched out of bounds. And so the Panthers get the ball back. Leggett goes out. And Grill goes out, gets a handshake and a pat on the backside from his coach, Dennis Gates.
Pitt going now with both point guards on the floor. You know, moving Bub Carrington off the ball. Having Jalen Lowe, he's handling the ball now. I think this is an attempt to get Bud going, get him downhill.
Austin sizing up the defender, shot it over Lewis, but missed to the right. Carter kicks to the corner, East. Kurt Lewis is coming to the game for Mizzou. Back to Carter for three.
Noah Clark's upside is just amazing. He's got it going earlier, attacking inside on early post-ups, getting to the rim that time, stepping out, showing you his range.
Mizzou heating up, drawing back to within a point.
Missouri switches everything, and they try to pin you on one side.
Carrington hanging in the air for two more.
Just getting to his spots there. He's a three-level scorer. Then he splits it, get downhill, get to that elbow, and steps right into his jumper again.
Let's see if they look for Carter. He's had the hot hand throughout. Conover looking for help. Under 10 to shoot. Bates. Long two-point shot. Banged in.
For the guards on both ends of the floor, you're going to be able to put these big men in ball screens. And because Vanover's in the game, Federico won't leave him. So attacking him and forces Federico to roll with Vanover. You can turn the corner like that, pull up, or get to the rim like you just saw. Can
you imagine A being 6'11" and B then being a half foot shorter than the guy standing next to you?
I can't imagine being 6'11", let alone 7'5".
Man. First 2 points for Lowe, the freshman from Missouri City, Texas, Fort Bend Marshall High School. So don't be confused. The 7'5" guy can really shoot the three.
Yes. Dennis Gates actually wants him to shoot it more.
Federico could not handle that pass. Tamar Bates is feeling it. Getting three from the corner. It's 33 apiece with under 2 minutes to go in the half.
This is something that Pitt has to watch there. Both freshmen tried to make plays without passes in the offense, and a quick shot like that is just like a turnover in the previous possession. Got to settle down and get into your offense a little bit.
East whips it to the corner. How about another from Bates? Vincent, he'll pull from there. You got to get out on him. And now he steps around the big man and missed the layup.
Just Vanover presence there in the middle made him hesitate. Thought he had to pull up. Vanover looks a little gassed right now.
East finds a gap in the defense, missed it, and we've got a foul on the rebound. We've got our third tie of the ball game between Pittsburgh and Missouri. By the Kent State Golden Flashes, led by Antonio Gates.
Wow.
And so both of these programs have a lot to look back for their history, and that young man, a former Cal Golden Bear, and of course he famously, Jeff Capel did, played at Duke. He was a league rival of yours, as a matter of fact, Mr. Childress.
He was, Del. Capel and I had many battles in our day.
Now he's got one of the most iconic shots in Duke basketball history.
Yes, he does.
When you do anything big in that rivalry with Carolina, it's going to be remembered.
And it should.
Just over a minute to go here in the half. Little Bug Carrington, Carlton Carrington. Trying to shake Aiden Shaw, able to put the shot up and over the much longer defender. Shaw is 6'8" and long, and it still didn't deter Carrington.
It's not. He's 6'5". I think he's a little taller than that. It looks like he's growing by the day.
East with a triple.
Don't think East isn't taking this personal. He sees the scouts and know they're here. Watching Bud Jr. there. He's like, wait a minute, don't forget about me. I'm leading this Mizzou team in scoring.
Yeah, more than a dozen NBA scouts in the building. Primarily to see Carlton Carrington, but that allows the other 9 players on the court to show out and say, hey, what about us? Shot clock, game clock, just about identical. Lowe's pass deflected out of bounds. He was trying to find William Jeffress, who's just come into the ball game. And he will stay in, it looks like, for the final 9 seconds of the half. Although now Pittsburgh's going to use that timeout and talk things over. We'll take a break as well and come back for the conclusion of half number 1 here at the Beat. Of this Missouri Tigers coaching staff will be tuning in. Of course, they keep in close contact with Leonard Hamilton. Inbound comes. Hinson. 5 seconds to go. He's got 2 defenders on him. Gets away. Puts it up. No. And that will do it for the first 20.
The offensive glass themselves.
And we'll see if Missouri can get Nick Honor going. He comes in averaging 13 per game, and he is still scoreless. Pittsburgh starts the second half with the basketball in their home white uniforms here at the Pete. Zach Austin hanging in the air. 1 and done for Pitt. Nothing doing on the offensive glass.
Great job there, showing you the verticality. Going straight up, put your chest on. It's not a foul. Difficult shot to finish over that contact.
Good job by Federico to get a hand on that pass. We talk about the rebounding efforts. Federico's in the middle of it all. He's number 2 behind Armando Bacot in the ACC in offensive rebounds per game. He's not as prolific on the defensive end, but he's a big piece of the puzzle inside for the Panthers.
Well, he's usually in that dunker spot. And last year, their guard play was so strong. They played with 4 guards. He was able to get a lot of drop-off and offensive rebounds last year.
And you see the block shots per game so far this year, nearly 3 per night. Noah Carter. Boy, he's got some nice moves in and around the basket.
Opening up the second half just like he started the game. Getting in the post, scoring inside early, opening up opportunities later to face up and knock down shots on the perimeter.
Well, he was A.J. Green's running mate for a couple of years at Northern Iowa. Spent 3 years there. Averaged 15 points per game a couple of years ago and then transferred into the SEC to join the Missouri Tigers. And again, he really began his ascension for Dennis Gates last year, late in the season. And you know how that goes as you get more comfortable in a new environment, start to feel your way around, and he is much more of a force this year. Leggett is fouled by Honor.
To your point, it's an adjustment when you get into this Missouri system. It's like Florida State, because what they're asking you to do is just play as hard as you can for as long as you can, and we'll sub you out. Now, if you go out there and make mistakes, then we'll take you out. But playing as hard as you can, most people don't. It's just tough to get people to do that and buy into that.
Yeah, player efficiency rating is the #1 analytic for Coach Gates.
Yes.
Get in, play hard, play efficiently, get out, then let a teammate come in and do the same.
Because if you do that, then you'll get back in. If you stay in and start making mistakes, then that's when you don't control when you get back in the game.
That foul on Honor was his 3rd. He will stay in the game. He's got the basketball in his hands now. A coach's kid, a military brat. Grew up in Orlando, Florida. Now he's got the ball back, working on the freshman Carrington.
He's the one guy for the Missouri Tigers that actually has played against Pitt. For everyone else, this is the first time.
Spent 3 years at Clemson after a redshirt year. Remember what those used to be, redshirt years?
Yeah.
When you transferred?
Yeah,
Back
that's
in
the
the
last
day.
one, yeah. How about that?
And he played a couple of years for Brad Brownell. Young Mr. Bates has really shown a nice form with the jump shot tonight.
He has been so fun to watch. He's shot the ball extremely well and got to start tonight, and he doesn't plan on relinquishing it.
Well, he was a top 25 recruit coming out of high school. So it's no surprise the young man can play some ball. East again. Fends off the defender. This time he's called for the offensive foul. But he's got a knack for creating space.
He does. I think he's got away with it a couple of times in the first half. And I guarantee you, Coach Capewell must have mentioned it, and he drives left. He extends that right arm a little bit there. I think he got away with it in the first half. And that time, Teddy Valentine was like, no, 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 sir. We're going the other way.
If they don't call it, it's not a foul. That time he called it, so it was a foul. As Teddy works right in front of us. Terrific officiating crew tonight, along with Bert Smith and Clarence Armstrong.
Look at what a pressure Missouri has Pittsburgh starting out offense from.
Carrington. Federico, there he is on the offensive glass. And it gets a fresh 20 on the shot clock for Pittsburgh.
That's the look you got to knock down. The drive to the rim down the middle, and the corner threes are there.
Carrington with a little step back three.
He says, I don't need your help. Just give me the ball and get out of the way. I'll do it myself. I don't need you creating for me.
Sounds like Randolph Childress back in the day.
Oh, I can relate to that. Some guys are just better with the ball in their hand, and the adjustment is learning how to play without the ball in your hand, and it takes time for that.
Honor lost his footing. Looks like he's okay. 5 on the shot clock. East tried to wrap around, but read beautifully by Leggett. He's got Austin with him. Leggett wraps it around. Austin tried to dunk it, but he was fouled.
Great job on the defensive there by Leggett. Carrington just rocks his man to sleep and sidesteps, creates space, and he's been so impressive and fun to watch.
Oh, yeah. No freshman in the history of this Pittsburgh program has started his career better than that young man. He won the first 2 ACC Rookie of the Week awards. He had a triple-double in his very first game against North Carolina A&T. Carrington is the 8th all-time in conference history, 8th freshman to have a triple-double. And the only other ACCer to do it in his very first game, none other than Dennis Scott.
Hey,
I mean, the company that this young man is keeping is really something.
It's just unbelievable. I mean, his poise, his IQ. Talked to his dad earlier. His dad's here. I call him Bub Jr., call Dad Bub. Got a chance to talk to him before the game, and he's just been blown away and amazed at how mature his son has handled everything. And I told him it's a credit to him. It's just a reflection of his dad.
Pittsburgh has tied the game at 42. Carter trying to work baseline. He gets to the spot he wants to, just can't finish. Quickly up ahead. For the flush by Hinson.
Great job by Hinson running the floor, rim running there. Known for spotting up, running to the three-point line. That time got him an easy deuce. Great find by Leggett.
Crowd starts to come to life here inside the Pete. The Oakland Zoo is certainly getting back to the way it used to be. Federico blocked. Robinson.
Federico there has to do a better job of getting to the other side of the rim. It would have gave him a better angle to finish that shot.
Our first media timeout of the second half has Pittsburgh riding a 7-0 run.
Leggett just pushing it there. Great pass, great find there. Hinston showing you the up.
I don't mind what I see is going on at the JMA Wireless Dome.
I bet you don't.
Here's Anthony Robinson, who we've not talked a lot about tonight, the freshman out of FSU High School in Tallahassee. He draws the foul. Count the basket and one, and now we can sing the praises of the 6'2", 175-pounder who played 4 years of varsity basketball for former Florida State two-sport star Charlie Ward.
Great job just getting to his spot. And Bub Carrington with great defense, but then he left his feet on the shot fake, and he'll learn you want to stay down, but great job by Robinson. They're just so high on this young man.
So Charlie Ward, the Florida State connection, was part of the connection to Dennis Gates and his staff. But then also, assistant coach C.Y. Young's daughters went to high school in Tallahassee at Florida High with Anthony. And then, if that wasn't enough connection, Anthony is the nephew of Byron Rim, who was the head coach at IUPUI and talked up his nephew to then Horizon League rival Dennis Gates when he was at Cleveland State. And then all of a sudden you get a new job in the SEC. Hey, I know you. I've been hearing about you for a couple of years. You want to come to Columbia?
Hey, it sounds like he was only going to go one or two places. Missouri or Florida State. That's what it sounds like.
Well, another one of the wins for Dennis Gates and his staff. They've done a marvelous job recruiting. Got another terrific class scheduled to come in next year. And the building blocks are there to try and climb in the highly competitive SEC.
I mean, he's kicked the door in at his start. Can't ask for a better start to a career in that conference.
Well, in the preseason poll this year, in spite of making it to the tournament last year, Missouri was slotted number 9. It was Tennessee 1, Texas A&M 2, Arkansas 3, Kentucky 4. And the climb from 9 up and through those is going to be a long one. But again, in just 18 months or so, he has done everything you could hope for.
Well, he was preseason picked 11th last year and finished tied for 4th. So I think he has him right where he wants him right now.
Well, he says he's in, he says he's in contact daily with Leonard Hamilton. In fact, he calls him at 1 in the morning if he has to. And, Coach, I didn't wake you, did I? And Coach Ham, being Coach Ham, says, I was just waiting for your call. There's some of the names Coach Gates has himself with in SEC history. You've heard of some of those guys.
Yeah, just a few.
National champs all over the place.
Yes, indeed.
It's a shot clock violation as the shot missed the iron. And so it's Pittsburgh basketball. Well, Gates got his first opportunity to be a head coach in the Horizon. Spent 3 years at Cleveland State. Won a couple of Coach of the Year awards. Took the Vikings to an NCAA tournament and to an NIT. Here comes his team the other way. Grill had to track down the pass a little long. Gets it back to Robinson. And that gentleman is not shy. Noah Carter with 2 more points.
The ball just finds him right now. He's catching and finishing everything around the rim. Another unforced turnover there. Well, Carrington's done a great job of taking care of the basketball, but that's his 3rd turnover there. He's got to know when he beats the defender full court. They're coming from behind. And
you know, Mizzou's done a good job against the Pittsburgh team that came in averaging 88 points per game, second only to Miami in the ACC. And they've not been involved in a close game yet this year. Through their first 6 games, Pittsburgh blew out 5 of their opponents and then were handled pretty easily in their one loss by Florida in Brooklyn last week.
It's a great job here by Easton. Gets the angle, the hesitation in the angle on Leggett, and he has no choice but to come over the top and drawing the foul. He just puts so much pressure on you, and now that he's comfortable knocking down that 3, he's going to be a handful.
Sean East at the line. The Louisville native makes the first. Tonight, it's another featured college basketball matchup in the ACC-SEC Men's Challenge as the Clemson Tigers take on number 23 Alabama at 9:30 Eastern Time.
That's a big matchup there. I am very high on the Clemson Tigers. I think they're going to be a surprise team in the ACC.
You were singing the praises of Brad Brownell during one of the shoot-arounds today.
Yes.
And the job that he continues to do there in Clemson, South Carolina, I'd have to agree. Lowe turns down the 3, probably because he had a 7-5 defender closing out on him. Now the shot clock at 8. Leggett challenges the big man and gets denied. And that'll be a shot clock violation as the second attempt did not hit the rim either. Rebound grabbed by Missouri, though, before the horn, and so play continues.
Watch the effect that Connor Vanover has on his game.
East just really has a silky smooth stroke in that mid-range.
Mid-range king, he's so comfortable there. Great job catching that ball off penetration. He's used to creating. Now he's receiving into that. Catches it, finishes at the rim. Great game.
Tell you what, it does a basketball fan so good to come back into the Peterson Event Center and have the kind of energy and vibe that Jeff Capel's club has reinvigorated. It's not back to the way it was at the height, but they are certainly heading in the right direction.
The zoo is up and jumping right now, though. They got those fans, they got those students back involved.
Yep, students are engaged fully. 12:45 remaining in regulation. Hinson wants to go one-on-one. Both he and the defender go down. Leggett, or rather Leggett, driving and laying it in. Give the assist to Hinson from the seat of his pants.
Great assist, great find. Leggett gets his first field goal. He was struggling from the field prior to that. 0 for 5, and so again, maybe that layup can get him going.
Connor Vanover slips the screen. Back out to East with 10 on the timer. Whips it to the corner. Carter blocked from behind, but a foul is called against Guillermo Diaz-Graham.
Not often you find assists like that from the seat of your pants, but great find, great job not to panic there. And it is Leggett on the cut there.
I mentioned in the first half you just can't speed him up, and there's a perfect illustration that he does not panic.
Just the experience. He's been there. He's done. You can tell by his body too. He's slimmed down a little bit, and trimmed himself up, and knows he's an offensive weapon. He knows you have to you have to go after a shot when he shot fakes. He's just playing at his own pace, and that's difficult to go with because he just uses your energy against you when you try to speed him up.
Leggett out. The freshman Lowe comes back in for Pittsburgh. Carter made the first.
Pivotal point of the game right here. Pitts with their freshman backcourt in. They've had a couple of turnovers. These freshman guards are 7 of the 8 turnovers for Pitt right now. Got to handle this pressure, get him in the offense, get a good shot.
Carrington finds Hinson, who puts it up and in. Nothing but net for number 2 for Pitt.
That's what you do against this defense. Get an opportunity, you drive the bigs on the switches. Corner threes is where Missouri's vulnerable, and you can see those guys, they've drilled it. It's great to see you put it into action and get it.
Yeah, when little Bub drove in.
And, you compete against guys, you know the fabric of them, and just to see his growth, and he and his brother there, he's fortunate enough to be coaching at this level with his brother. You couldn't be happier for him.
Caleb Grill gets the roll, a shooter's roll, to make it a 6-point Missouri lead.
Big shot coming out of timeout there. Coming off the handoff, and Grill struggled early on, and we just talked about this with the freshman guards. Just they got to take care of the basketball. A couple of careless turnovers there between Lowe and Carrington, and just catches that shot fake, and Zach Austin overruns the play and gets the friendly bounce like he's at home here.
As Grill goes out, Missouri with the basketball on top by 6. Nick Honor playing with 3 fouls, still looking for his first points on the night. Here is Honor. Robinson. Conover's pass batted into the backcourt, and it's a shot clock violation. Nicely done defensively by Guillermo Diaz-Graham.
Yeah, Guillermo there used his length. He was laying off. He and Hinson there are playing off this front line of Missouri. I don't think the play was there either way, but just a great job. Not so many times you're going to deflect a pass from a 7'5" guy.
A couple of precocious freshmen getting to know each other at midcourt.
It's not a foul because he's using his lower body, I think, there to separate it, and I don't think Coach Gates agreed with the call.
And so here is that matchup.
Bud Carrington will learn there too. When a guy's pressuring you this far, just beat him. Don't play with the ball. Just put him on your hip and go.
The defense left him all alone, and then he missed the shot. A rebounding foul that goes against the Panthers.
He's got to stay aggressive. It's just too passive. Wasn't even looking to score. They left him open, and he found himself there alone, and he just shot it. He's got to stay shot ready. Just get into attack mode. The rest takes care of himself. He's so unselfish. He penetrates the pass. He just needs to stay in attack mode.
Well, another aspect of this game that's been really good before tonight is assist-to-turnover ratio. 3.7 to 1, among the best in the ACC. But as you've alluded to, the two freshman guards for Pitt have turned it over a little more than they would like this year tonight.
And that's what the pressure of Missouri does. You know, they want to speed the young guys up.
Robinson had to put it out. Jorge Diaz-Graham had position, and the ball knocked out of bounds. No foul that the Pitt fans clearly wanted called.
I don't think it's. I think it's the right call. Let him play.
Yeah.
No harm, no foul there.
If Bates made any contact, to me it was incidental.
Yeah.
Winding down in the midpoint of the second half. Pitt down 6 with a basketball against a Missouri team that's had wonderful depth and balance here tonight. A little more assertive Blake Hinson will earn a trip to the free throw line.
Well, when they need a basket, put your two best players in a pick and roll. They're going to switch, and you attack the matchup. This time, the guard Grill switches on to Hinson, and feet get tangled up, and he trips on a spin move.
I love the personality Blake Hinson showed last year. As the Panthers got into January and February, they were in the midst of, you know, being a legit team, a contender in the ACC, and they had a sense they were going to go to the NCAA tournament. This is a young man who's from a football family in Deltona, Florida. He told the coaches last year, Randolph, if we make the Sweet 16, can I play spring football? Of course, the answer was no. And then he said, Elite Eight? He said, well, we get to the Elite Eight, the coaches said, then we can talk about it. And unfortunately for them, they did win a couple of games, but did not make it to that second weekend to have a further conversation about saying, hey, I want to go play tight end again for the Pitt Panthers.
Yeah, he plays with a level of physicality like a football player. Missouri just goes on runs. They score bunches, but then they give it up easily. In their last game against Loyola, opened up with a 31-9 run, with an 18-0 run, and then they gave up a 17-0 run. So that's just been indicative of how their season has gone. They're accustomed to going through scoring droughts like they're in one right now.
When you ask Coach Gates about that very thing, as Honor hoists it up. Grill and Carrington go to the floor. Let's see if it's a held ball. Appears that it is. No foul called. But when you ask Coach Gates about their streaky nature this year, what was his explanation?
He wants those guys to shoot. He wants no hesitation. It's just part of it. A large percentage of their shots are from behind the arc, long shots, long rebounds, and you know the analytics today. They want you to continue to shoot them, and he has so many guys that are taking them. So they hang their hat on the defensive end. He isn't worried about points. Their number for him is they get to 75 points. They're 27-0. So he wants the tempo and wants those shots. He knows the more they score, the more likely they are to win, just like anyone else. Great block there.
Carter took the feed coming down the lane like a freight train, and he was met on his way to the rim.
Great cut there.
Now the two twins, who's going to get that block shot? They're going to argue over, that was mine. No, that was mine.
That's true, because both of them had their hand on the ball.
Yeah, and it's not like football where you can get half a sack. Shot clock down to 3. Boy, talk about somebody who you can't speed up. We have seen East time and time again just take his time and score.
It's a great drive there and get the angle on the footer and finish.
Foul comes, and if it's on Honor, that is his 4th.
Jorge Diaz there. The Twins are there. Look at the angle there. Get the angle to scoop and finish against Guillermo, and then, I mean, look at that's a difficult shot, getting the angle, and you try to rush it up because of the length that's there that bothers you. But like we talked about earlier, he's very capable of scoring on the three-point line, but he loves to get to the rim and shoot his mid-range shots. So
that foul was not on Honor. It's against Carter, so that is his 3rd. Now Federico returns, and Guillermo Diaz-Graham takes a seat while his younger brother, by just a matter of minutes, Jorge Diaz-Graham, gets ready for a second foul shot.
Jason Caper calls him Rudy. Calls Jorge Rudy.
Because?
Rudy Fernandez, guard, Spanish national team.
Okay.
Player,
oh, yeah. So. Interesting. Grill got a good look. Gets his own miss.
He says that because he wants him to play with that level of confidence as a shooter.
Interesting. Vanover's miss has Pittsburgh out running. Good job by Grill to recognize Hansen had the ball. Carrington. And Grill with a defensive rebound. Under 8 minutes to go. Missouri with the basketball, leading by 5 in this inaugural ACC-SEC Challenge.
Watching Vanover in the paint is they're not a comparison as the same on the offensive end, but with a 7'5" guy in the paint, people understand how it is playing against Purdue.
Honor with the wraparound to Conover.
Great find there. Getting to the rim, saw the help coming, and Vanover won't get it easier deuce than that.
Vanover put up big numbers last year as the Summit League's Defensive Player of the Year and also first team all-conference. He was, of course, with Max Asmus. Asmus transferred to Texas, and with the coaching change, this young man has come to Missouri, but he was suspended for the first 3 games of the season, sitting out a silly NCAA-mandated suspension for having played in Portsmouth. They're doing it again today after their shoot-around, and has shown a decent stroke, and of course he hits the backboard first.
You jinxed him as soon as you complimented him on his shot.
Yep.
But he's put in a lot of work, and he's
well, as a big guy, he's got to get better. You know, for him to be on the floor in certain situations, he's got to be better than he's been, and he knows that. And
he has to finish at the free throw line. You know, you can't be a liability as a big late in games because it's hard to give you the ball when it matters, because if you can't knock down free throws, you can't put it in your hands late game.
There's what he does best, rebound and defend. Another rebound for number 33 in white. Federico, 6'11" from Helsinki, Finland. And by the way, I saw him today as we were coming in for shoot-around. Jorge Diaz-Graham, no. I felt bad for Federico because we were caught in a snow squall. He was walking with his hood up, and I'm like, man, these guys who are not from this part of the country or this part of the world, it must be quite a shock. I also understand that Jalen Lowe, up until today, the Pittsburgh freshman, had not seen snow. But he did see snow today here in Pittsburgh.
It did snow, and it's cold here. I don't care. Coming from North Carolina, this is freezing right now. Let me tell you that. I'm not from upstate New York like you. It is cold here.
Well, Lowe is from Missouri City, Texas. We just saw him sitting on the bench, probably thinking about, man, it's going to be cold when we leave the arena tonight.
Back-to-back free throws there, and this is what we just talked about. You don't want to have empty possessions in a game like that, and Federico's missed the last 2 free throws.
That was the 4th foul on Noah Carter, who stays in the game for Missouri as Honor penetrates to the left hand, still can't buy a bucket. Missouri with another offensive rebound. Has he hit anything but net tonight?
It looks like he hadn't missed at all, and they're punishing Pitt when they get second opportunities. They're making the best of them.
East with 18 points to lead all scores. It's a 10-point Missouri lead. Pitt cannot afford another empty trip, and Federico gets the offensive rebound and is fouled.
Just a great job there, and Federico hadn't Honor Shaw much, and he just stepped back, and he has it going. He's in an early season groove right now.
Well, Federico was born in Egypt, but as mentioned, raised in Helsinki, Finland. And last season, Coach Capel said he was as good a defender as anybody in our league.
He was. He's a versatile defender, and when you get in games like this, he's able to switch, but when a guy like Vanover comes in, he can't switch, and you need to keep him home and keep him in the paint. Now they're substituting because they need more offensive firepower now. They need defensive stops, but they need to get more scoring. And
a couple of big free throws by the big man with 5:37 remaining. Draws Pittsburgh back to within 8. Crowd wanted to travel on Grill. Lob it, and the reverse. Aiden Shaw.
Wow. He's going to catch it and try to dunk it frontwards, and the pass was short. And when you jump that high, it doesn't matter. He just caught it and banged it backwards.
Coach Gates says he's one of the best athletes in the country, and we just got a glimpse of that right there. My goodness. Here's the no travel, even though there might have been an extra step there for Grill. And then,
look at this.
Wow. Just float.
Yeah, just glide, just
whatever.
Hovering in the air as he catches the lob and finishes.
I'm good. Just throw it within 4 feet of the rim in any direction. I'll get it.
Don't worry. I'll wait on it. Don't mind me. I'll be here when he gets here. Wow.
Foul on Sean East, his 4th and the 10th against Missouri. So it's a couple of free throws for Carlton Carrington.
He won't be on the bench long. Pick and muster a little bit of offense here. He'll get back in quickly with those 4 fouls. You just got to try to rotate him off Carrington or one of the guards. Pitt's looking to extend pressure here. And a 1-2-2. Let's see if they fall back to man or zone.
Away by Hinton. He gets it back. Under 10 to shoot. Now double team. And the foul is called against the man who stayed with him defensively, Blake Hinson.
Hinson did a great job of moving his feet. Arna picked up his dribble there, and no need to foul. Just be solid there and force him into a tough shot.
Vanover will check back in and allow Carter to take a seat with those 4 fouls. The trigger man will be Caleb Grill from Wichita, Kansas.
Pitt needs a stop here on the defensive end. They're down 8.
Vanover kicks it out. Grill, great pass to the corner. Leggett's pass too far out in front. He was leading Carrington more to the corner, and Carrington had cut off his route.
Yeah, that's a bad turnover there by Leggett. He's got to give up a little earlier there. Had numbers.
10th turnover committed by Coach Capel's Panthers.
And that's not a high number, particularly against the pressure of Missouri. And they're just struggling right now. We're getting into the guts of the game, and timing of that turnover is more the problem than the volume of them.
Grill, corner 3 short. Austin may have gotten a piece on his way by.
Drag this screen and attack the big here. Bub just needs to get downhill.
Carlton Carrington finds Leggett wide open. That would have been big for the Panthers. Instead, a defensive rebound for Mizzou, holding on to an 8-point lead.
Got the shots you want. Middle penetration. Kicking it to the wings in the corner.
And Honor calls a timeout. Team as he further rounds into shape and gets used to the way Missouri does things.
I think that's the key for him. He has the skill. You'll see him knocking down threes and be a lot more involved on his team on the offensive end of the floor.
And you're right. As soon as he came on the floor in the first half, things changed.
Things changed. That size just neutralizes things.
5 on the shot clock. East lost it on the way up. Hinson's got the basketball. Panthers on an extended drought, as you see, having missed their last 8 from the floor. And if not for their free throw shooting tonight, they would be way behind. Catch and release. Pure stroke by Blake Hinson.
They were trying to get Hinson on the switch, so he tried to switch on Honor and take him inside. Honor switched out, and he ended up popping out, getting a 3 anyway.
A blocking foul against the Panthers. Guillermo Diaz-Grant.
Yeah. You can tell Teddy Valentine didn't want to call it, but when he lost it and it went out of bounds, couldn't let that contact go. And he tried to switch and roll inside. Then he tells Guillermo, go inside, and pops out. And Honor's late. He's too high on the switch, and you don't want to leave that guy open.
Pitt's 7th team foul in the second half has Nick Honor going to the free throw line. 6 of 7 on the year. His father, Al Honor, is a tremendous girls basketball coach in Florida, having won 6 state titles. He was the National Girls Coach of the Year a couple of years back. His son just can't buy a point tonight.
He's struggling from the field and can't get that one to go from the line. Hanson is just going to play. Oh, no, not bully ball. Just
logo ring.
Just give me the ball and get out of the way is what he's saying right now.
Only P.J. Hall at Clemson and Quentin Post at Boston College score more per game in the ACC than Blake Hinson does.
Got to be something for East, I would imagine, coming out of the timeout. He's been hot.
Carter back on the floor with the basketball, finds Grill cutting to the basket, and he lays it in. A couple of graduate students just playing ball there. It's back to a 4-point lead.
Great call there, coming out of the timeout by Gates. Set the fade screen and then slipped it with Caleb Grill. Back to the same play again.
Hinson is fouled by Honor.
I think that if you Pitt, that's the matchup you want. You find a matchup. Whoever's guarding one of your guards with the size advantage, put them in the ball screen. Missouri's going to switch. Let's see if they make an adjustment on the defensive end and decide not to switch.
And now Nick Honor becomes the 3rd player with 4 fouls, sending Hinson back to the free throw line.
Still needs just one just to make it a 1-possession game.
Honor, Carter, and East, each with 4 fouls, all valuable pieces that Dennis Gates cannot afford to lose.
Yes, backcourt guys. Definitely don't want to lose your experience. You need those guys to close out games. Full court pressure here by Pitt.
Carter's bottled up, able to find Honor, lob it to the rim, and the big man throws it down. Connor Vanover now with 6, and it's back to a 5-point Mizzou lead.
You don't need a 3 here, but with Connor Vanover in the rim, he just protects the paint so well. He forces guys to settle.
Hinson going one-on-one, and the secondary defender blocks the shot, but I believe the foul was called by the primary defender, Caleb Grill. Got him on the arm on the way up.
Yeah, great job there. Just getting to a spot. Shot faking again. It's been going forward and forced the issue there, but there's nothing you can do there. Just a lob there to Vanover, just standing in the paint.
And by the way, I approve of Coach Gates and his staff going with the suit and tie. I think it looks pretty sharp.
It looks good, but I can tell you from a coach, I hated it. I was so happy. I was so happy as a coach to get to the 3-quarter zip-ups.
Your silence spoke volumes right there.
Yeah. Well, he looks great. To your point, he looks great. But I can assure you, I appreciate when we went to the 3-quarter zip like Coach Capel. That's so much more relaxing. Less stressful. Where you're going to wear your tie, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, come on. It's not that hard. Would you stop it?
I'd call a game at 3-quarter zip if they let me.
Here comes the screen. East, dangerous pass to the corner. Taken away by Pittsburgh. 47 seconds remaining in regulation. Carrington attached to the corner. Wide open, Leggett. And it goes out of bounds. No, it doesn't. Saved by East. Missouri with it. Another big opportunity for Pittsburgh missed right there.
They had their opportunities. Another open look there by Leggett, and he's upset with himself. He's had a couple point-blank open looks tonight and just didn't knock him down. Great shots, great opportunities. You can't be upset about that. Just didn't go down.
Guillermo Diaz-Graham in for Federico.
You need his three-point shooting there on the other end, so expect another spacing and pick-and-pop situation here. Big free throws here.
East is very good at the line. It's just another mid-range shot for him.
Yeah,
of course, he's going to swish it.
He hadn't missed them all night, so why start now? And if you're Pitt, you don't need to force up a three. Still plenty of time left. Drive to the basket.
Tamar Bates comes back in. Or no, now he heads back. He was at the scorer's table, and then rather than coming in, they called him back. 35 seconds left in the second half. Leggett left his feet, had nowhere to go. Missouri takes it away. And then Leggett has to commit the foul.
Yeah, Leggett left his feet there, drove in the lane with the trees, and got a deflection there. Costly turnover there, driving by Vanover. Carter comes over, and just throwing through that length is difficult. They got a deflection and a turnover. Just one too many turnovers here for Pittsburgh guards.
Well, Missouri has a couple of losses on the season to Memphis, and then the surprising one to Jackson State. But they are closing in on a third straight win and a big one in this ACC-SEC challenge.
Yeah, that's a big road win. Anytime you can get a road win, it's always big, and it's always bigger when you're playing against a team that you'll be fighting for a spot come March. But knew this was going to be a tough, hard-fought game.
Still time, though. Carrington. No. Pittsburgh is going to call off the dogs, and so that will do it. The Missouri Tigers seized control late in the first half and kept Pittsburgh at arm's length the entire second half.